In this video, I'm going to explain what is needed from you to become a highly effective manager, and what attributes do you need to demonstrate so your team can also be effective. These techniques will give you the confidence and the competence, which is a very good place to start, to get the best out of yourself and also of your team members. I'm going to talk about 8 key areas that will help you to develop your management ability. The first one has to be communicate and communication. We need to communicate effectively. Your people need to know the 6 following things. They need to know what's expected of them, why they're doing it, who they're doing it for, when it needs to be done by, where they need to be by a certain stage, and how to go about doing it. Most members and most team members will claim, I don't know what's expected of me. These 6 words will help you to make sure that people fully understand what's expected of them. So let's just remember them. The what, the why, the when, the who, the where, and the how. This is fundamental. If we don't get this bit right, the rest isn't really going to work. We've got to communicate effectively in what we want people to do. The second stage goes obviously hand in hand with the first stage. So we talked about communicating effectively, and another part of communication is providing feedback. You need to give good feedback to good performers. So when people perform well, don't just give them praise, give them feedback. Enable them to understand why they are good. Provide facts and examples and the impact of their good work. On the flip side, you also need to give feedback on poor performance. Do not shy away from having these challenging and sometimes potentially difficult conversations. And we've got some other videos on the site that'll actually help you to deal with those. Most team members would complain, I just don't get enough feedback. And the only time I get feedback is when I'm told I've done something wrong, but they don't tell me how to go about doing it. So giving feedback on good performance and feedback on poor performance is essential. The third one, you might be surprised at this, but do we challenge people enough? Do we end up doing their work for them? Do we end up doing their thinking for them? And you've got to get your people to think for themselves. Build their awareness and get them to take responsibility. They're getting paid for the job. I want them to demonstrate this professional responsibility that I'm always talking about. So challenge people ethically to think for themselves. Challenge them to work things out, so they only come to you with a problem when they thought of a solution. Because after all, you wouldn't take a problem to your senior managers without a solution, would you? So make sure they do the same. So ensure that you challenge your people. They will thank you in the long run, because they're only going to become better at what they do. So the fourth area is, always remember, you cannot do everything. There's only 168 hours a week. Do you really want to spend them all at work? You are employed to get your people to work. You're not employed to do their work. Plus also, you're not employed to do their thinking, you're employed to get them to think for themselves. As I've already said, build awareness and responsibility. Get your people to think. You cannot do everything. That's the whole point of a team, that you enable other people to do things. That's what management is about. Number 5, to get the best out of your people, understand how they see their work, their job, their career. What are their aspirations? What are their career desires? Are they with you for a long time, or only here for a short time? And whilst they are with you, it's your job to get the best out of them. Yeah. So you need to understand and have some honest conversations, have some what I always call human conversations about what their aspirations and desires are for their career. Once you know that, people become a lot easier to manage, because you can challenge them. You can get them to think for themselves. Because if they've got aspirations of developing, you can say, yeah, but you need to know this before you can go on and do that. Yeah, you need to demonstrate your competence and confidence in this area, so then we can give you more opportunities, promotions, get involved in different projects. So yeah, understand their aspirations. It's a great way of making sure that we press the right buttons to motivate them. Number 6, if you cannot be organised, how do you expect other people to be organised? It's that simple in some respects. It's a bit like playing sport. How do you expect to be good at sport if you're not fit? Yeah, and fitness is a no-brainer. Anyone can get themselves fit, and it's the same in the working environment. We can all make sure that we're organised. It's an attitude of mind, being organised, planning and prioritising. So make sure you do the things that have the biggest impact first. That's the art of prioritisation. And make sure you understand exactly how your people go about organising themselves, and you work together towards the same things. Make sure they've got good objectives. Make sure that you plan in time for reviews. Make sure that you give them plan in time for those feedback sessions. So be totally organised. If you can't be organised, how do you expect your people to be organised? So it's great to see that you're still with me, and because of that, in the link box below, there's a free download. It's all about helping you and your personal development. This will be of great interest to you as a manager, but also perhaps to your people. So number 7 is a bit like number 6 in some respects, because in number 6 was all about being organised. Number 7's all about being motivated. Again, if you turn up at work, oh, not here again. Oh God, not another day at this place. Oh, I really don't need this. Oh, don't talk to me today. Look, I've had enough. You know, if you can't be enthusiastic and motivated, how do you expect your people to be? So you've got to think about that when perhaps you get into work or you get on that Teams call, you are on show as a manager. You've got to show that you're keen. You've got to show that you're there for them, you're supportive, you're motivated, you're enthusiastic. Think about the impact your body language, your tone of voice, what you say has on other people. Really important. So number 8, which is the last one, you need to get feedback. Who are the best people to tell you if you are good at your job? Yes, your people. So create the opportunity. Don't just walk in and say, what do you think of me as your manager? They'll think you've watched a video on this or been on a course. Just say, do you feel that you get enough information from me? Do you feel you get enough feedback? How do you think we work as a team? And as they get used to these types of conversations and these questions, you can then say, how am I doing as your manager? And it's important to get feedback and listen to them. They may have a very valid point that will help you. Don't get defensive. Ask for examples. Also get feedback from your managers, get feedback from other directors, other departments. How do they feel that you impact communication and conversations with their people, with them in meetings, and what impact do they think you have on your team? Ask for feedback, it's essential. Plus also, whilst you're doing this, you might like to go and have a little look in the mirror and say to yourself, would I like to have me as my manager? That's a really good question to ask ourselves. And think about, what changes do I need to make? So be human, have these human conversations, be honest and be supportive. So if you need any help, please get in contact, please get in touch, drop me a message, and I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you.